Hello everyone, the Flying Scotsman here, and welcome to this video. What we have is, well, we have a new Pentium 3 laptop. Yep, going back almost to form with this channel now. However, this machine is not for me. This machine, as you probably guessed from the title of this video, is for RetroFest. And the reason that we're getting a laptop for them is because, well, RetroFest is actually part of a wider drop-in project, actually. And as part of that drop-in project, sometimes we're probably going to be looking to meet people in different places. And one of the things that was discussed was, is there any part of RetroFest that I could maybe take with me? And I said, well, maybe if I got a laptop or something, then we could play some old games on the move. We could get some handhelds, because we do, at RetroFest, we do have a shoebox to be precise, of Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games, and we do need handhelds. We need Game Boys and Advances to play those on. Anyway, as I was saying, we've got, here's something that I do know and that I could get a hold of. It is a laptop. And this laptop actually very usefully came with its own bag. So I'm very happy about that. So why don't we open up the bag and see what we have. For one thing, I think the zip could do with being oiled, maybe. I think that wax crayons are good. So the machine in question is, well, it's a bit of a classic. It's a Dell Latitude CPx. What kind of a CPx? Well, that I'm away to find out. It's got the express tag and what have you. I can't really see much on the bottom at the moment, I'm afraid. PPX, Dell Latitude C family. Right, okay, never mind. So we have the machine, and it has, we will have a look around it, but I also want to show you just kind of what this machine came with. I actually put in an offer for this machine, and I explained to the guy what I wanted it for. I think it was originally up at, I can't even mind how much it was up at, but he would take 25 quid for it. Because I did lowball him 10 quid. And he said, but it's going to cost over that to ship it. So I thought, well, that's fair enough. So I took the offer, and well, basically, here we are. So, like I said, this came with a bag. And if I look in the front pocket of the bag, we see an original Dell C series, I believe anyway, power supply. I would, I'm not sure if I'd laugh or cry if it actually came with the power supply to a Dell Latitude XPI. But yep, nope, this is definitely a C series power supply. Quite nice actually. Been running out of these. But if we look inside the bag, we see a place to hold a business card. Inspected with pride by Targus. Inspector number 36. And then we've got an address card. What I think I'm going to do is put in a RetroFest business card and an Aberdeen Action on Disability business card in there, because why not? However, what we have done, what I have discovered is just some of the stuff that this machine has came with. It's kind of nice actually. I mean, I know these are just basic things that it ought to have came with, but trying to buy laptops in the UK sometimes it's basically like you don't get anything. It's almost like they don't want, UK market is almost like they don't want you to buy their stuff. Now, floppy drive, the metal I can only assume is slightly corroding. If it becomes a problem, I do have a couple of these Dell Latitude C series floppy disk drive module. Nice. quite useful to have one of those actually. And we have a Zircon card bus Ethernet 10100 plus modem 56. These are type 3 slots and they're double wide. Well, yeah. You have modem in and out plus Ethernet. Quite useful. It'll go straight into the machine, and that basically should never need to come out. So that's actually quite nice. The seller of this machine has given me pretty much everything I need to say to get started. I say pretty much because well, let's have a look actually at what we do have, because unfortunately there is something missing that's quite crucial. Anyway, so let's go for the usual tour. So on the left hand side of the machine we have PCMCIA card slots, and then here's the missing item. It's a hard disk caddy. There is no hard disk or caddy, so I have actually had to go shopping before I could do anything with this machine. This is a Kensington lock slot. It's so near to the speaker that you'd think it to be some kind of bass port. And then on the front you have a battery, I don't know if it takes a charge, and an optical drive. Oh wow, looks like it's a DVD drive. Nice. And then on the right hand side you have another speaker, microphone, headphone out, line in, S-video in. Oh wait a minute, that, I'm not sure. Any of these could be the Kensington lock slot, but I'm thinking it's the one on the left. And an event. Some of these have some of these machines have a blanking plate where you would have a modem sat behind it. So yeah. And then back here you have a fan, VGA, IEEE 1284 parallel printer port. You also have the docking station connector, which I don't have one, a single USB 1.1 port, PS2 mouse and keyboard port, RS-232 serial, power supply, and infrared. So, like I said, I did have to go shopping. And so I went to market, or at least eBay Marketplace, and I bought something beginning with hard disk C. It's a hard disk caddy. And then the hard disk came out of my own collection. Largest capacity drive I had for IDE was 20 gigs. I would have liked 30 gigs, but 20 gigs it is. So, without further ado, I guess it's time to start installing the hard disk. So, that's what we'll do. that's pretty cool. So we've got what I'll do is I've got 4 screws. I'll use 2 of them to hold the disc in and then 2 of them to secure it to the chassis. Because that's the last thing I need is someone dragging the hard disk out while the machine is powered on. Might end up with a similar situation to Brandon Bishop's original compact LTE. Right, so in order to be able to install a hard disk in here, what I need to do is unscrew the adapter and install it onto the end of the hard disk, and then unless I could just actually, I probably can just would you look at that. So there you go. So that's the hard disk pretty much installed. Yep. Excellent. So now the next thing to do is to secure it in using screws. As opposed to secure it in as opposed to securing it in using bananas, I guess. And there you have it. Nice fit. And then to install it into this machine, I just literally need to slide it in and clip it in place. Okay, so apparently these screws are too small to fit. Oh well, I guess what I'll do is I will just use these 4 to secure it after all. I will look and see if I've got any screws that are actually appropriate for actually securing the caddy to the rest of the machine. Whoa! Whoa! Nearly dropped that, and I didn't want to do that. You don't want to drop a hard disk. Right. Okay. I'm not sure if this drive has anything on it, or if the battery has got any kind of a charge. No, it does not. Now, I don't know if at this point the battery can even take any kind of a charge. So, anyway, let's go and plug it in. and see what's what. Now, the machine was photographed booting up. Well, I say the machine was photographed on the BIOS screen, so hopefully it works. I certainly hope it does, because it's been a few days since I actually received it, so as yet I've not actually been able to test it. What I am going to do is plug a mouse in. Okay, let's see what's what. Now, unless that stops flashing, I'm going to have to assume that the battery is dead. And I can imagine that this is going to tell me that the CMOS battery is low. To which I really should change it. Yeah, I probably should. Press F2 to run the setup utility. Okay then, that's what I will do. The hard disk has been detected. This is a CPx-H 500 GT. That's fine, it's 500 megahertz. Has a Pentium 3 500, 192 megs of RAM. Video memory is 8 megs. Level 2 cache 256 kilobytes. And it also smells quite musty. And today's date is April the 15th, 2019. DVD-ROM, docking station, enabled, optimized, blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. So let's see what else we have. ECP parallel port. No passwords, good. Apparently the battery's charging. Yeah, like I said, if that orange light doesn't stop blinking, I will probably just take out the battery for the sake of safety. So let's see if I can get anything to install. At least the DVD drive's working. Dell product recovery. This program recovers Windows 98 operating system. Required partitions are missing! Do you want recovery to erase your hard drive and automatically recreate your partitions for you? Yeah. Confirmed. You want recovery to automatically recreate your partitions for you, erasing all data on your hard drive? Yes. Thank you for creating my partitions. So this is probably going to take some time, so yeah, I will come back once this is done. Well, the battery's actually showing a light. I don't know if that means that's hopeful or not. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is create the partitions manually. Okay, so I've created the partition. Okay, let's see if I can get this guy to format my drive for me in a quick fashion. Maybe it'll do it slowly. Some of your partitions are not formatted. Do you want recovery to automatically format your drives and recover Windows 98 operating system? Yeah. Proceed with format. Why? Okay, so this looks like it is going to do a full format, which actually is not a bad thing, if I'm going to be honest. It's always a good idea to do a full format wherever possible. I mean, I can imagine people don't want to do a full format on a multi-terabyte hard drive, but on a 20 gig hard drive, that'll probably take about 10 minutes to half an hour. So I will come back once this drive is done formatting. It's actually not taking very long at all. In fact, it's probably taking as long as what my 854 megabyte hard drive took in the 2001 custom build to format. Oh yeah, that's going on quite nicely actually. So yeah, full format, I think. Full format, in hindsight, was the right idea. Well, RetroFest is nearly here, so while this laptop was formatting, I thought I would go off and do something useful and just kind of advertise that. But as you can see now, the hard drive has now formatted and Windows is installing. I still don't really know what's different between this and regular Windows 98 install, apart from you get no choices in how it is installed. But oh well. And you get quite an interesting boot screen that has the Microsoft logo in the top right, written in black. So yeah, we've got that to look forward to. But this really is the closest thing that Dell had to a recovery routine back in the day. Dell, like Gateway and Gateway 2000, do you know what, actually? I don't think I've really had much experience with a Windows 98 era Gateway that was just called Gateway and its recovery media. Although, actually no, LGR did recently do a video about that, and yeah, nothing really changed from Gateway 2000 to Gateway, but Dell, a lot like Gateway, what they would do is they wouldn't give you a restore CD as much as they would give you a pile of CDs with the original software on them. And then what you would do is just go off and install the software. And, for a lot of people, that is preferred. And it wasn't just on their business machines that they would do that. Of course, that would, that would make things easier, for network admins to deploy software on the machines. But no, it was for their home machines as well that they would do that. I've had a couple of Dell Dimension systems that have done that. But yeah, this is, most of the time, if not all of the time, I've usually gotten a straight up copy of Windows 98, or in the case of the 4100, Windows Millennium Edition. But no, you've got this instead, which it just, yeah, I guess it will install a base Windows 98 install, but it'll just do everything for you. It'll literally hold your hand. I mean, you'll have to go and install all the drivers, so best of luck with that. If you don't know what you're doing there, then yeah, bring the machine to me and I'll install it for you, I guess. No, but no, it is. No, this is quite good actually. I kind of like this. So the restore has completed. It's asked me to remove the recovery CD and click OK to reboot. So that's what I've done. Okay, so let's see if this system will boot from the hard drive. Yes, it will. So as far as I'm aware, this is basically now just Windows 98 setup. So regional settings, it is British, So let's type the information in. So now we're waiting for Windows 98 to complete hardware settings. So now this is the usual Windows 98 fare, except it doesn't have the Windows 98 setup surround that we are so used to, especially on this channel. Am I using a PC card, network card, CD-ROM connected to a SCSI card, etc. to install Windows? No. Do I want to review my system files and select real mode PC card drivers so Windows can disable them? No. You have finished install the PC card wizard. To enable 32-bit support, click finish and then restart your computer for the changes to take effect. No. So now it's time to set the time zone, Greenwich Mean Time. And this is quite good because this Dell Windows 98 recovery routine does have a couple of the more important updates included in it. So not only do we have things like programs in the start menu, oops, I've just realised what's happened here. Of course, this is now expecting a floppy disk drive, and there isn't one. So we're going to be here for some time, folks. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, Windows 98 setup gets really quite sensitive if there's no floppy disk drive when it seeks one. But Windows 95, 98 ME in general does anyway. Look, it's... I mean, it should get past this deadlock. Let's hope it does. Completely forgot about that. Oh, there we go. But it has the a couple of updates. File access URL security update, ATA 100 update, and shutdown updates 1 and 2. So despite what you just saw there, we should get a more secure Windows 98 experience. This will not be a problem once I have all the drivers installed, as I will be installing SoftX Bay Manager, which will tell Windows 98 whether or not I have a floppy disk drive connected. And if I don't, well, Windows will not look for one. Windows NT, at least version 4, seems to be able to function on its own fine without a floppy disk drive present. Windows 9X, though, does not seem to be able to do that. Not very well. Although, that said, couple of the machines actually at my old school. The maths room had 4 computers, 3 of which didn't actually have floppy disk drives. Which, back in 2000, for a Windows machine not to have a floppy disk drive, especially if it was running Windows 95, and especially if it was a desktop, it just kind of seemed a wee bit, yeah. You can, and actually I probably will, get a cable for this machine though, so I can use the floppy drive externally, just in case it needs it. Although, I don't see any reason why any of the general RetroFest users would need that. Now obviously I'm going to set up as much of the software as I can on here while I'm here, but there is going to be stuff that I will need to do once I get to the office. And that includes setting up the machine for use on the domain. And that's Windows 98 now fully installed. Now because I own a CPx-H myself, I have a driver disk. Damn, it's taking its sweet old time. That's worrying. I wish this had a verbose mode. It would actually let me see the progress of post, but these latitudes don't. In fact, I don't think any Dell with this particular style of BIOS does. Something not quite right about this machine. Sometimes Dell Latitude CPXs, I think, can be a wee bit quirky, but they seem to still be a machine that's quite cheap. Wow, that was quite painful. Right. going to see if I can get CMOS battery for this, and then I'll have to literally take the machine to bits to fit it. This may be a candidate later on, actually, for a SD card update. That'd be quite a good idea for this machine. It'll certainly, hopefully ensure at least a wee bit of longevity. Not sure how much life this 20 gig hard drive has left in it, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think this battery is actually, no. It's a shame because I think it wants to, but I honestly don't think, it's probably one of the most live batteries I've had in one of these for a while. I'm going to keep this by, see if I can get it to charge in any of my machines. Okay, so at the moment it's set to unknown user, and you know what, just for the time being we'll keep with that. Unfortunately, due to the way that I've set my permissions on my server, which I will need to actually access, I can't really log in as J, but that's exactly what I'll be logging in as on at RetroFest. I have successfully had Windows NT and 95 running on one of these actually. Can't remember if I videoed it. So here we are, the Dell Windows 98 install. Pretty much anything you would want installed. So let's get some driver installs going. Starting with the Intel chipset driver. Right. I don't know what the hell just happened there. Oh. The light on the power supply's out. What the fuck? Okay. Honestly, I don't know what just happened there. But something is definitely not right. And now we're waiting for blooming ages as well. Right, okay. So I'm going to have to reset the time and date. Or am I? Well, let's set the date and time. Oh, day, month, year. Right. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Now the drivers are installed. Or installing. Okay, so hopefully now this... Oh, I thought that was... I thought that was actually turning into a solid orange light there to denote that the battery was actually charging. But it seems to... the flashing seems to start and stop as the machine's actually doing stuff. Okay, so that's the Intel chipset driver finally installed. So let's actually... again. I honestly don't know what's wrong with this machine. All I know is it's probably not going to be suitable for use at RetroFest, and has therefore been quite a waste of money actually. But this is this is what you get on the British market nowadays. I mean, honestly, it is really difficult to try and get hold of computers of any sort in the UK unless you have money, and this is second-hand machines. Nowadays, 20 quid will buy you, at whatever age you're buying, something that generally does not work. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is... What's it doing? What the hell is it doing? Keyboard stuck key failure, keyboard data line failure. I've never known a machine to act so strangely. It seems to freeze up, but then it's fine if I press a key on the keyboard. I don't understand what is up. All I can really do is just kind of keep plodding on and just see what other problems develop. Right. Well, let's install. Ah! No, no, no. That should have been the control key working there, but it wasn't. There we go, let's get the Bay Manager installed. Honestly, I wonder if having the battery installed in here is gumming things up, but then it seems to gum itself up when I don't have the battery installed as well, so it's a difficult one. See what I mean? Now it's going to take years for the hard disk to be detected. Unless I hit the escape key and then I'm fine. James Crivens, this is not good. I do have to wonder how much I would be for a motherboard to one of these. Okay, so let's go ahead and install the rest of the drivers. I think I'll install the video drivers while I'm recording. Okay, I don't understand why that just did that. But then I will go off and install the rest of the drivers off camera, and I will come back once everything is installed. Also, I think I might try for a BIOS update. Whether it's a good idea on a machine that turns off randomly is, well, yeah, no, it isn't. I'm gonna have to do some investigation into this because this is annoying. It's kind of nice that this version of the ATI driver will install DirectX, rather than pishing and moaning that DirectX is not installed. It's actually decided to behave itself this time round. If I'm going to be completely honest though, what I really would have liked is to have gotten a compact laptop for RetroFest. Because of course I would. Well, at least we have video now. Nice. So there we have it. So like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and install the rest of the drivers, and then I'll restart the video once I'm done with that. Well guys, I've had basically just about enough of this machine, if I'm going to be completely honest. I have updated the BIOS to A14. I had a look at the I did have a look at the seller's description of the machine, and he even said it's on A02 but could be upgraded to A14. So I did that, and I'm still having the same issues, and it still randomly powers off from time to time. And yeah, it's just not it's just not in a fit state, really.